Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. No, you are not looking at a Serie A video, mutual video. It is a match preview for Inter. It's just I got online with the two brethrens and Mario was rocking the dopest Sampdoria kit I've ever seen. Christian rocked up with probably the best looking jumper I've seen in a long time. And I just thought, F it, I'm changing out of my Inter top and I'll just go grab something else. So it's Palermo, Sampdoria, and Venezia coming at you, but all three of us. Nice hats, eh? Show them, show everybody. Show everybody. Yeah, balling out. 8 people in the video. Like the video, let us know where you're from and where you're watching from. It is the Inter Empoli preview. About 32 hours ago, I wasn't even aware that there was a match day on in the middle of the week. But you know what it is. All these fixtures are coming at us hard and fast. So today we're going to be talking about Empoli. While I've got the boys here, we're going to talk about Juve first, the derby. And then we're going to talk about the relative strength of Serie A after 9 or 10 games. And maybe we need to, I don't know. I'm just happy I got two of my most optimistic friends with me because they're going to equalize the situation here on Inter worldwide. A couple of comments first. Matt Pickham says, better be a Mikoli jersey. It's not, but Mario, do you want to tell him what we said like 3 seconds before we went on air?
Oh, I got the black Mikoli jersey in the closet right now, just waiting to be worn.
The patron saint of Sicily, bro. Rumors have it Nunes in Palermo actually pray to Mikoli at night instead of Jesus. So yeah, exactly right. Bruno says, get the Regina jersey out. 100 now. Any Calabrese people watching, man, they'll vibe with that big time.
I got the Nakamura one from back in the day.
You got a Nakamura jersey?
Yes, I have one.
Why is my boy Bruno not in here?
Bruv, trust me, if you tell him to jump in, I give it exactly 23 seconds before he jumps in on his own accord. Literally, 21 seconds now. There's 11 people in the chat right here, right now. And the punchline question of today is Pinamonti going to score against Inter? And Christian Rivas, why did you answer yes?
I didn't say yes.
Bro, the script is written. The script is written. But before we do that, before we say that, man, because nothing would make me happier than to go on and trump Empoli, who have been the best team so far from the Serie B sides who have come through. But more importantly, Mario, what was your reaction to once again a very, very highly controversial Derby d'Italia? How do you think Inter played, and what's your reaction to the call at the end?
It was one of those Jekyll and Hyde performances where we looked good, but then it just, as we fell into the second half, it just the level just dropped off, played a little more safe. And then Dumfries came on and, shit the bed. The call at the end, it's a weird one because if you want to go by the book, it's a penalty. Clear cut, contact, whatever, fine, I'm okay with that. But the problem is the referee's right there, he calls it off. It could be called dead, or, you don't wait 5 minutes and then go back to the VAR and then give the penalty because, oh, shit, Juve needs a penalty. My problem with that is that does Napoli get that? No. Do we get that? Maybe. Does Sassuolo, Benevento, Empoli, do any of those smaller teams get that kind of, 5 minutes in the past? Oh, we need to go back and review this, not controversial game-changing penalty because, it's not like it was a clear-cut error where, Dumfries kicked the guy in the freaking back of the head and, it had to be given. It was one of those things the referee saw it. There was nothing there to his eye. And, it didn't have to be given. But, it's all said and done. It's a penalty.
My biggest issue is this. Look how confidently the brother says, no rigore, get your culo off the floor, bruv.
Exactly.
It's that. That's the problem for me right there. And if this keeps happening, well, then what's the point of having a ref on the pitch? Let's just call the game from the sky.
It's the consistency. Like, you see him confidently say it from 5-10 yards away, whatever it is. No penalty. I'm right there. I see everything. Yeah. It's not consistent with not the games, but it almost seems like it depends on the team. Juve is the only team that I've seen where they go back so far to give a throw-in or a offside where they could have been a foul or other nonsense going on, where they go back and they give a penalty, a foul, whatever it is. Teams don't get this treatment. The consistency needs to be fixed across the board.
Bro, like I said in my post-match, bro, we all know what it takes to beat Juventus to the title, and it takes an Antonio Conte-level coach and a 15-point gap, man. We all saw how it was treated in match day 36 last season with that bullshit Quadraro penalty as well, and that's why when they did the match reactions and the match interviews with the players and stuff after the game, they suddenly said, this is why we won the title early. legit. Conte said it. This is why we won the title early, because we can't leave this up to chance against this team. And he's a homegrown bloody Juventini. Christian Rivas, I know that you were just as disappointed as I was with the decision. Did you calm down a little bit, or are you still just enraged at the fact that this is how it sits in Serie A?
See, my thing is this. It's a constant thing, bro. Like, it was so bad that me and Mario was discussing this earlier with our boy Bilal, Ben, and Alex and everybody, and we're like, the fact that Napoli's owner, not even our owner, Napoli's owner was like, yo, I want the audio from the VAR room. I want to hear the audio myself, because last time we asked for it, it disappeared.
Yeah, because we asked too long. We waited 9 months for an apology, and then when we asked for the audio, oh shit, it's not there. So I guess some people don't want to wait for the apology next time.
Yeah, and the thing is this. Me and Mario were talking about how come in the NFL when they do reviews, all right, this is what Serie A needs to start doing. You put the referee in the center of the pitch, put a microphone on, and you're going to explain, because they have the little headsets, you're going to explain why you're making the call.
Yep.
What the rules are, what the guidelines are, and why you're following that. And again, when you do that, you're going to say, okay, it was a foul, blah, blah, blah. But under article such and such, as the center ref, I was right there. I saw nothing wrong, no malice. I said, play on. That's it. That's when it should have died. It's not like he was 20 yards away. He was literally 10 feet from the action.
Yeah, man,
they be accountable. They have to. They can't. They get away with way too much. Like you see the coaches Spalletti after the game. He claps. Whether it was
red card.
It was what's it
four
called?
Managers got reds.
Allegri
didn't.
All in the top. All in the top. All right. 4 managers that are on the top of the table. In the top 6 squads got all sent off. Spalletti,
Mourinho,
Gasperini,
Inzaghi, Gasperini.
I'm not ready to cry conspiracy, bro, because I don't like when they look at us when we cry conspiracy. We're not doing that. We're just saying, explain yourself, bro. Explain something here. Because we do this in Australia now as well. What you just mentioned, Christian, with the football, our version, rugby league. Now, when there's a dubious decision, they zoom in on the referee, and you can hear the audio of the referee going to the VAR, what we call it here, and just saying, I just need to check X, Y, Z. And then the VAR, the video ref will come in and go, in regards to this and this to this, we've concluded this, this, and this, and therefore the decision is this. It's just accountability on the spot, and football needs to take this trajectory.
You remember Serie A tried to do that thing where on every weekend that one ref was going to come and explain all the calls and everything supposedly was supposed to start this season?
But
yeah,
they don't do that on like Domenica Sportiva or nothing like that. Because they go crazy with those replays. I don't know.
It's just for me, it's that feeling where I don't know about you guys, but at like minute 85, I was just pacing around my room going, when does it go wrong? When does something happen that isn't in line with, dude, give Dybala the ball and let him score from 40 yards out. I'll be happy, bro. I don't expect Handanovic to save shit. No offense, Mario, but like straight up, when this sort of stuff happens every single derby, every single game, how are Juve going to sit there and say they deserved anything? Like, I admit, we sat back in the second half and we weren't fantastic. Let's get one thing straight. Inzaghi's substitutions have always been his flaws, and that was a disaster class in the second half. Why is this guy trying to change the whole team on minute 55, 56 every game? Like, we get it. We complain when Conte waited till minute 79, but that doesn't mean you change half the team at halftime, bro, especially when you're winning the derby. Perisic, arguably our best player on the park and our best player of the season so far, bar maybe Nico Barella's work rate.
Dzeko.
Perisic in the house, getting subbed off. We all know his athleticism and tenacity, bro. We all know it. Why did he get subbed off, Mario?
No idea, honestly. I couldn't tell you. I thought he played a great game. I've been an advocate of his for so long, and he's finally getting that chance to be the Perisic we've been wanting. And he's getting the chance. And now 55 minutes in one of the most important games, you cut him? What are you doing? For no reason.
Let me just say something. Mario was Icardi's FC president. I've been Perisic FC's president the whole time.
All for different reasons, obviously, but still.
No, because he's a legitimate like.
We've been saying this with him, D'Ambrosio. How many people have we
Yep.
gone through with this?
Yep.
Yeah. Any last comments on the derby? Because I'm going to bring our friend Bruno in about 2 minutes' time to talk more about Empoli. But Christian, how you feeling knowing that we're going? The next game's in Turin, bro. It's going to be a heavy one.
My thing is this, bro. It's match day 8. You get what I mean? It was match day 8 or match day 9. My bad. But for these things that happen so early in the season, where it can dictate legitimately where we can finish, like, okay, I get it. We're only 7 points off the pace. It's not bad at all. Like, I don't call it a full-fledged, we're not in panic mode yet. You get what I mean? It's not crisis enter yet. But at what point is there going to be some accountability? Because it always looks like Serie A tries to do the accountability after the fact. Oh, he's going to be suspended from refereeing interior games for like 5 games.
Yeah, bro. Why do we care? We don't get the goddamn 3 points back.
We don't get the points?
It doesn't change anything to us. We don't give a shit who's refereeing the last game. We care about what just happened.
It's going to be, this guy can't do it, next guy can't do it, next guy can't do it. Next thing you know, it's a woman from Serie.
You know what it is, bro? And a lot of people have been saying this for a long time. Why is Italy one of the only leagues left that won't employ international referees? Why does every referee need to be Italian?
I mean, they want Italians in the game. They barely got Italians in the field.
Hard, bro. That's well said.
The Italian refereeing generally isn't bad. It's just that it's dependent on who's playing sometimes, as we've seen. So, like the Inter games, you're going to get a really good referee, but you don't know what he's going to do depending on if it's a Juve, if it's a Milan, if it's a Napoli, if another team needs a point. That's where it gets shady. But you always see the Italian referees, Rizzoli, whoever it is, they're always in the World Cup finals, the semifinals, the Euros. Yeah. They're always top of the line, and they handpick those referees to do those important games for a reason. They don't just say, randomly pick out of a hat. They pick them because this is the best guy suited for this match. He is the most credible referee for the final. Maybe it's the German guy for the final this time. Maybe it's Rizzoli. Maybe it's whoever. But it's always an Italian in the semifinal finals.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
The thing that trips me out is they always talk about how Orsato is such a great referee, and I'm just sitting there like, you mean the guy that's fucked us continuously?
Maybe every other club thinks he's good, bro. But for me personally, I'll always just remember him as the guy that stood 4 meters away from Pjanic and gave him a free pass and 3 points. So he can suck it for the rest of his life, man. I'll never, ever forget that day at 6:45 in the morning. My father had to come and grab my shoulders and kick me out of our own house. He just walked me out of the house and go and be angry elsewhere because you can't wake up the rest of the family. I'm like, yeah, good call, man. Good call. Before we bring Bruno in, let's check where the worldwide authenticity is coming from today. We've got Faris from Austria. Thanks for jumping in, man. We appreciate it. Frank from Toronto, Canada. Good to see you, my bro. This one's interesting. Andrea from Maroubra, the eastern beaches of Sydney. Bruv, whoever you are, let me know who you are, and big up to you for enjoying the finer things in Sydney, bro. Honestly. We'll go over to some more comments soon. However, here's someone to give my voice box a little bit of a rest. What's going on, man?
What kind of jersey?
How are you, boys? I'm loving Mario's name.
Where's the Regina jersey?
He talked a big game.
It's in storage. I gotta find it.
It's at your parents' place. It's at your parents' place.
Probably it's in their attic or something. I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah. Interesting point you brought up, Bruno, in the chat. It was all Inter managers who got the red cards this week in Serie A. Every single manager has some sort of tie to Inter, man. Incredible.
But boys, last time Inter played Empoli, our 2 goal scorers were Nainggolan and Keita Balde.
Didn't you see the thumbnail? I couldn't resist. I could not resist.
Politano got man of the match.
I was going to put the video of Nainggolan hugging Keita Balde, but I'm like, nah, Nainggolan has no room on this channel anymore, man. But yeah, bro.
Icardi missed the penalty. Balde got the red card,
Mario, you remember him missing that penalty, bro, to make it 2-0 with about 15 minutes left?
Beautiful taking penalty. I hope he misses every penalty he ever takes in his life.
Man,
He brought Wanda back. That's the story at the moment.
He
I
got
don't
married.
mind. I don't mind talking about it for a few minutes, man. Like we said when he left Inter, this guy was finished as a footballer. You two beneath me more than I did. But as time's gone on, and I've spoken to a lot of good, decent Juventus fans as well. They've been saying one thing they've been consistent with is we'd take Mauro, and I'd be like, boys, trust me, you don't want none of that. And I'm saying it as a person that would love nothing more than for him to come and fuck your club into the ground. You don't want this dude, bro. He's finished as a footballer. This is a guy who's actually admitted in interviews throughout his life, I don't like football. It's my job. In my spare time, I don't watch it. I play PlayStation, but I've never played FIFA. I don't like the sport. Bro.
Him and Osvaldo have something in common.
It's Osvaldo.
Yeah, look, I think that there's rumors of the Icardi Aguero swap with Barcelona, because Icardi had a falling out with Messi, and Aguero's pissed that Messi left. So
Aguero just wants to be with Messi, right? He just wants to end.
Yeah, I think that's on the table. As an Inter fan, I'd love to see him go to Juve, but at the same time, I just think he's let his manager control his life. She's called the shots. She's done everything for him. As soon as shit hit the fan, PSG he goes to Pochettino, I'm out. I got to go chase this woman across Europe because I did wrong by her, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, there's no professionalism. There's no love in the game. There's nothing there. He did what he had to do for Inter. You can't complain with that. But good riddance to Conte and sending him on his merry way.
100%. What's going on, Franco? Thanks for tuning in live, man. It's always good to catch you. Darian's in the house. Icardi is the Samson of football. I don't even know who Samson is. What's the reference, American friends? You know this?
No,
Samson, biblical.
Okay,
Still don't know it. Sorry. Mario and I are like, what the fuck? All right, man. Let's talk Empoli. Let's go to Nick Knox's comment. Flashbacks to the last Empoli match. Are we all aged 5 years? Yeah, of course. Go for it.
Everyone that was Icardi FC said he needed support. He had no midfield. He had no wingers. He has the best team in the world. He has Messi, Neymar, Verratti, you name it. Dani Alves he's played with. No, he didn't play with Dani Alves. I'm sorry. All these players, Hakimi, and it's still
what Inter did with Icardi is we made him the focal point on the pitch by playing him every minute and playing to his strengths. This guy walked into a team that didn't need him. Wasn't he benched by the dude that they sold to Bayern Munich? Was it Choupo-Moting? I forget his name. But yeah, he ended up being the 5th choice attacker at PSG. And when you're not playing Icardi into form as a focal point, you're going to see the flaws in his lifestyle, like his shitty childish personality, his lack of professionalism in the dressing room, his addiction to his personal life, the fact that he doesn't like football, the fact he's obsessed with himself, and oh shit, you don't need him to score goals. Why even exist at the club? That's a bomb from Leonardo. And I remember doing that video 2 years ago, Mario, going, is 55, 60 million enough from Beppe? Oh, Beppe. Well done.
Yeah, like look at it. I said it so many times. If we were a small, relegation to lower table team, he is a godsend. Trust me on that, because he's going to steal you points from the big teams, the middle teams. He's going to keep you secure in the Serie A. But when you're a team like Inter that you want aspirations for Champions League, to win the league, to push to the next level, to be a big club again, you can't have that small-minded mentality where, he's the best player. He's untouchable. That never works. That only works for the small-sided teams that they absolutely need someone to just push them through anything. Like a point is fine. Like we were winning games 1-0 because of mistake goals. But, we took one shot on goal. Like, those are the kinds of game we were winning. But, it's not, we couldn't create anything. It's Mauro Icardi saved us. And I'm like, how did he save us when for 90 minutes the guy touched the ball twice? How does that work when we're going forward, but then we have to drop back in the attack because going forward is basically going backwards to the sides or kicking out of bounds.
Yeah, look, I think the best moment I had with Icardi was more of a Vecino cross into the box and Icardi winning the derby via the header. But everyone was praising him. Vecino had the eyes. Vecino put the ball in. But it was all grande el capitano.
Yeah.
You've done this for us. You won the derby. But no, it wasn't that. He's a textbook poacher. He has no effort to his role. He gets the ball, he shoots. And he looks good because he puts himself in a good position. And 9 times out of 10, he gets it in the back of the net. But it's like what I was saying with Jonathan the other day. You've got Cristiano Ronaldo at Manchester United. When they're defending, they're down a man. Yeah. With your Hardy in your team, when you're defending, you're down a man. He's as lazy as they come.
You're down 2 men because he's going to be lazy on getting the counter.
Defensively,
he's going to be offside.
That's the thing.
Bro, the guy's just fat, bro. He's overweight.
Because he would drop back into the positions, sure, a little bit later, but I mean, what striker doesn't? But the problem with him was in the attack where he just didn't offer anything. There was no hold up, there was no through runs, unless it was at the top of the box where he's making a 6-yard run. That was the problem. Defensively, he cut off passes, he won balls, but like there was nothing after that. You know what I'm saying? If he won the ball and we countered, we basically just went back to Handanovic. That's our counter. Yeah. We might as well.
That was our counter. Yo, Christian Rivas, man. Let's talk about why you're confident. Let's talk a little bit about this lineup as well. We got, I think, 3 or 4 games in 10 or 11 days with Udinese on Sunday. Hence why you might see some of these names. I love the English translation to the Inter players. Always good. We got Frog and Sticks in the back line, supporting Marcos at left wing back. Anyway, man, in terms of the changes, what's been reported on Sky and what's been reported in a couple of other outlets is that Ranocchia gets a nod instead of De Vrij, which I am actually okay with, to be honest. I think that De Vrij sometimes this season for Inter has shown a couple of lapses in concentration. I don't think he's been as inconsistent as Bastoni, but he definitely hasn't been as good as Skriniar. Skriniar is the safest of the 3. If Ranocchia is going to get a nod in any game, it might as well be this one. Where I'm unhappy is the exclusion of Barella, obviously. I know he needs a rest, and I know I always say he needs a rest. I'm addicted. I'm addicted, Christian, and it's gotten to the point where I don't see the replication of the work rate in midfield without him there. However, if there's someone that can be instructed to do this, I'll get to you in a sec, Christian. It is Matías Vecino. He can't do it with the ball like Barella can, but he can do the running and he can replicate the positioning and the tactical implementation. It's good to see Sanchez get a start because he needs a start to prove himself. I'm happy to give him this nod, and I'm happy to give DeMarco this nod. Christian, at the end of the day, it's Empoli. So you can have your subjective opinion, I can have mine, but at the end of the day, it's Empoli. If you're going to rotate today.
My problem with that is this is a game that you should be playing Dumfries, if anybody. This is a game you play Dumfries to learn on. Why are you going to put Darmian? Put
Maybe
Dumfries.
You reckon Dumfries is shook?
He sucks.
Listen, I've been saying this on this channel the whole time. You got to give this guy a run of games to really see if he's about it. If he's not, that's it. You only pay 15 million euros for him. Whatever. It is what it is. You take that L and you keep it moving. DeMarco, I would have put him in Sticks position, if anything. I wouldn't have gave up. You're giving up too much at this point. Your whole lineup is almost all B players except for Lautaro and Brozovic and Skriniar. That's it. So you got 3 starters. I would have put Perisic in, and I would have benched Darmian and put Dumfries because that's who you need to be working on. And then I would have put.
Do you think Perisic took a slight knock, and that's why he came off and he's not fit enough?
No. That's not it. That would have been reported. There was nothing on that. Nothing at all. Secondly, I would have put Marcos where Sticks is and gave Sticks a break.
Yeah. Sticks could use a break. And also, I just want to touch on this because it hasn't been touched on. I will say that Mo was spot on with Handanovic on the whole
Handanovic slander. I was not allowed to slanderize him because I wasn't invited to the channel to say anything about him after Sheriff.
This guy.
So I'm going to say it. This guy's positioning was so trash on that free kick.
No slander, please.
Yeah.
So
Next,
trash.
next comment, please. Next.
So trash.
About the fraud.
Bro. I remember the free kick taker getting his foot over the ball, and I'm still watching Handanovic. I'm like, anytime now, feel free to
He's
start
still
moving
trying to sort
anytime,
out
my
the
G.
He's trying to sort out the wall. He's like,
Yeah.
His
the ball's
positioning was so trash.
No, it's
Like,
that's good.
As a keeper, you gotta, if you're placing your wall here, your positioning needs to be better. If you're not moving as fast as you were before, and it's not like that was low into the corner.
It was body length. I understand, bro. No one needs to hear it again from me. So, Mario, get used to it, bro, because Onana's coming in at the end of the season, and that'll be it for Samir, bro.
That's okay. He's got one last season in him. He's not costing us games like that. I mean,
Christian's face.
Yo, hey, what you smoking over there?
Bro, the guy was costing us points last season. Antonio Conte mastered it by pissing on the league. That's what happened. And we know it. Mario knows it, bro. I'm going to go over to Bruno next.
listen,
Empoli. Yo.
Handanovic has cost us less games than Dumfries.
Debatable. Debatable.
This season.
Do you think, Mario, do you think there's a way back for Dumfries? And be serious. Don't just shake your head and go, no, he's trash. Like, is there a way back for this guy? Or are you like literally seeing Lazzaro version 5.0? That being that there were 4 others before Lazzaro.
He's Lazzaro with a chance. You know, he's getting his time. He's getting the subs. He's getting the starts.
Lazzaro didn't get the chance because Zhang pre-COVID had the Hakimi money.
I mean, Lazzaro wasn't going to play regardless because we had D'Ambrosio. So,
look, I think you got to look at Hakimi last season. It took him until December, January to actually really kick into gear, find the Inter system, and manage to move on. Now you're looking at a Dumfries that doesn't have the teachings of Antonio Conte there, but at the same time, he's come from Ajax. He hasn't come from, Dortmund like Hakimi or the English Premier League.
PSV.
PSV. Sorry,
Thank
PSV.
No,
Same thing, but so I do feel he isn't the player we do need. I do feel though this is the type of game where Dumfries should be starting to get his confidence up, because if we're going to run riot, I'd rather run riot with Dumfries there than DiMarco, because at the end of the day, I can't stand DiMarco. I just feel he's a wasted talent, right? Dumfries, we've spent the money. Let's use him and get to where we need him to be. You need that momentum. The same thing with Sanchez being in this squad. He needs to get that goal. He needs to get that momentum. It's not getting any easier for Inter this season. We've got Empoli, and then we've got a terrible run of games. Now,
Udinese straight away, and then Champions League, and then the Derby di Milano.
Yeah, and then you've got international break, and then Napoli, right?
Exactly.
And with Frog in the back, we've got 100% success rate. With Ranocchia in the last 2 seasons, I think whenever he started, he's been phenomenal.
That's because he starts against Benevento 3 out of 6 games.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's still
A
a
record's a
record.
record, and
It doesn't matter.
And he's got the respect of the players and the backroom stuff, and that's why they signed him up for another season. He's been there for Inter in the worst, so he knows what will happen. But look, this is a great game. I actually love this lineup. Other than DiMarco, I would take him out of this and chuck Dumfries in, because the simple fact is, Çalhanoğlu, Vecino, they need this game time. They need to find their confidence, and who better else to put it against Empoli? Simple as that.
Can I just say, Hakan in the first half against Juve was not poor. He was not even average. He played well, and he handled the midfield quite well, and he got into the exact spaces that a smart coach like Inzaghi would have said. I wasn't there, but surely in some magnitude, Inzaghi would have said, Brozovic and Barella are hogging the ball, and you know that. They will also involve Darmian. Your job is to make sure that Juventus midfield has got one head over their shoulder and not paying attention to the goddamn run of play. Hakan did that brilliantly. I kept one eye on him the whole time. He was veering, he was moving, he was swerving. He did quite well. This could be a game where he gets that. I was about to go to this comment. Chris, what's with the Udinese logo? You need to let us know about that. Did you lose a bet or something, bruv? Anyway, he goes, yes, exactly. It's not realistic to expect Dumfries to be so strong that quick. In his experience, the more he gets, the sooner he will break out. He can be a strong player. Everyone is underrating. I would agree with that to the point where you don't just become the captain at a Dutch club out of nowhere. The mentality side of Dumfries is on point. I've started to like that little photo of him grabbing the Lazio player by the chest. You'd rather have some players that have that rather than not. And we know how hard it is to tactically adapt to Serie A from a right back to a wing back position and vice versa. So we can give him more time, but I'm going to agree with the look on Mario's face, bro. It's only a matter of time before that Grim Reaper meme of Danilo D'Ambrosio comes out again. Victim numero 8 or 9. All you did was take a break in between for Hakimi, and I think the whole world can forgive that. But yeah, that's about it. Let's have a look.
Dumfries is dumb. He's very dumb. Like, you look at the challenge he went in the Juve game. That's a good challenge for him. When he wins the ball back, it's not like he does constructive things with him. He just kicks it out half the time, or he gives it back to the other team.
Yeah.
That's not what you do. Like, you can't just teach someone when you work with them every single day and they do this stupid shit like this. Like, I don't know. I lose hope for that. Like, it's the little things that I pay attention to that they do. Where, sure, if he was technically gifted, which he's absolutely not, we can see that because half the time he tries to dribble out of bounds. He's not. He's good defensively, physically, and like pace wise. I guess that's about it. Really, he's just like a running back in football. Like that's all he's good for. He can run. You give him the ball.
Same thing about Hakimi at the start of last season, though.
What?
We said the exact same thing about Hakimi, and if it wasn't for that COVID false negative, whatever it was, and Darmian got the time on the ball, he probably would not have improved because Conte really didn't see it. I just feel, yeah, look, there's a time on everything. I just think we're too quick to judge at the moment. You look at last season, we won the Scudetto, and you had Hakimi who was subpar for the first half of that season, and it wasn't until he got that kick up the arse. Now, it's not too far away for Dumfries, and I'll be more than happy to eat my words come, early December, January, if we're in the same position and we're still trying to make excuses for the guy, because then you got to understand that there's no limit. But he's come from the Dutch league, and like Anthony said, he was the captain there. But other than pace, Hakimi really showed us nothing. He was terrible defensively, and he'd just cross the ball for the sake of, I've got to do something. It wasn't until he had the challenge there.
Hakimi was a soccer player. You can tell it from how he touches the ball. Like, he wasn't a good defender at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to defend him defensively. He was terrible.
He just loves the football, man. But he loves having the ball at his feet.
He can play, and when you have a guy that can play, who has that attack-minded prowess where he's actually dangerous. Dumfries is dangerous, but not really at the same time.
There's very few fullbacks in the world can create a goal-scoring opportunity the way Ashraf can. And the best example of that was the match day 2 or 3 for PSG, where they were struggling on all fronts to feed the ball to 250, 300 million euro worth of players up front. And with 3 minutes to go, Hakimi just picked it up and went, F this, I'll just cut inside and hit it on my left foot into the bottom corner. Bruv, you're right back. Big ups. That's what you can do. Even
against Marseille, he made the decision to get the red card. It was outside of the box. He knew, if I don't get this red card, we're going to lose. They're going to go up a goal. He did it perfectly. But I was saying on Football Worldwide, this is the likes of a smart defender. Yeah. Someone who knows when to make that challenge. Now, if he did it in the box and got the red card and got guaranteed a penalty, well, that's stupid. But I just feel he's matured so much. And you look at Lukaku at Chelsea, right? It's the same thing. He hasn't brought his Conte learnings across. But I just feel we can't criticize Dumfries when we had Hakimi. Same sort of boat, but the teacher is a professor, whereas Inzaghi, in my opinion, is still a student.
That's a good point, man. I don't mind that point at all.
I just want to say one thing. Lukaku's only scored 4 goals at Chelsea. That's all.
Yo, we can talk about that on another episode and fill up a good couple of hours, bro, because I wonder how you're feeling as Rom getting taking the knock and then watching your team score fucking 7 goals without a striker. That's gotta hurt, bro. That's got to hurt in more ways than one.
My whole point is that I'm not trying to compare Dumfries to what Hakimi did. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not saying he has to replicate it. Even on Hakimi's shitty days, on his average days, he was 3 times as good. So, like, sure, you can compare them like, oh, yeah, Hakimi's 10 times better. But when I'm talking about Dumfries as himself, he's not a good soccer player.
But you should be comparing them because that's his replacement.
Same role.
It's his replacement.
I'm not expecting because I know Hakimi is a good player. I want Dumfries to do half of that, and he can't, in my opinion.
My point is this. Technically speaking, Dumfries is Hakimi's replacement. I've been saying that since the beginning.
Should be.
So there's nothing wrong with you comparing them. But I just feel for the stage that we're at this season is still a little premature. But you also got to remember, Dumfries is a 15 million euro player. So he's playing for his price tag right now. That's exactly what you're getting is a low ball player. He wasn't like you went and dropped 40 mil like you did for Hakimi. The expectations for Hakimi were out of the roof for the simple fact that you dropped the 40 mil. For Dumfries, we paid 15. It's not like we forced 25 or 30. He's doing what a 15 million euro player will do right now. That's exactly what you're getting. You got what you paid for. So it was more of a bargain.
Is it good enough?
You muted it.
My follow-up question is how many more chances does he get before he falls third into the pecking order behind Darmian and D'Ambrosio? Because we all know that D'Ambrosio's better position, his first best position would be right back, second best right center back, third best right wing back. But right now, Christian, I could bench Dumfries for D'Ambrosio.
I would bench Dumfries and Darmian for D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio offers you a lot more in the sense that, so the thing with Darmian, he's very good defensive. But he's not going to, attacking wise, he doesn't know how to find those goals like D'Ambrosio does.
I agree.
D'Ambrosio would make something out of nothing.
I think Darmian's improving thoroughly attacking wise, man.
He's not improving. What I'm saying is he doesn't attack the ball like Danilo does, bro. Straight up. He doesn't attack it like Danilo. Danilo was the one that willed us across that line against Lazio. He put us in that position to qualify for the Champions League for the first time. He put his balls on the line against Milan in the derby with the last-minute save because Handanovic wasn't going to get it. Danilo's been there defensively and offensively. Yeah. If there's one player that doesn't deserve any slander at Inter, is Danilo. Straight up. We can slander Lautaro. We can slander Perisic. We can slander Dzeko. We can slander every single player there. But the only player that's shown up time and time and time again has been Danilo. He's been a rock in that position. And the thing is, I get it. He has a 1-year deal. You don't want to extend it again. So what are you going to do? You're going to bench him. You're going to bench him.
I think D'Ambrosio knows exactly what his role is at the club after Conte came in. And he had more than enough time to prove himself as a starter. But at the end of the day, we're looking at him sort of for what he is. And I get it. You guys are always going to think he's a little bit better than I do. But
it's not just that, though. You're not going to give him a chance to be a starter last season. He was never going to be a starter. Because you paid the $40 million for Hakimi.
Of course.
You paid that. You're investing that. That's my starter. Mm-hmm. This is the same thing with Dumfries. I paid $15 million for this man, bro. You got to get this down one way or another. Like there's no chance that you're not getting this down.
How good is it as an Inter fan to be fighting over one of 3 right backs to start? Like this is a problem which we have not had for a very long time.
Bruno, do you remember when you were so positive about selling Hakimi at the start of the season? And I was like, at the end of the day, as decent as they are, you go into the season with these three guys as your starting wing back. Be prepared to sacrifice the 9 assists and the 11 goals, and you will look subpar there. I actually think Damian's doing well, but it's still a downgrade.
We're lacking across the board. If you were to say to me, if Hakimi stayed in this squad, would he be doing the same thing he did for us last season? God, no.
No.
Because Inzaghi has a different mentality. Yeah. Inzaghi has a different game. Now, you put Inzaghi into this squad, we all agreed at the start of the season, wasn't the best manager for the job, but at the same time, it was adequate for the team we had and for the approach. But we're seeing time and time again, I feel he's too spoiled for choice. He has too many options, whereas at Lazio, it was, okay, you off, you won. That's set before the game even started. Whereas this time, he's thinking too much. Why Damian doesn't stay on the pitch against Juve still plays on my mind. Because it's like, defensively, we've all agreed he's a rock. We didn't need the goal, but you bring in, and at the end of the day, we're facing an Empoli team. And this Empoli team has beaten all their wins have come against subpar teams like Juventus at the beginning, Bologna, Cagliari, and Salernitana, right? So this is a team that should not be providing a challenge to Inter, but at the same time, this is Inzaghi's chance to experiment per se. Still get the points, but at the same time, take advantage of this opportunity you've got because this Empoli team, other than their front duo between Cotrone and Pinamonti, I don't really see too much problems happening for the Inter.
Empoli, 10th position on the ladder, 9 games played, 4 wins equaling to 12 competition points. So they would argue that they're showing form that they didn't even think they'd be able to show. They're getting enough wins now to make them believe that they can take a slump mid-season. Now, yes, their wins have come against subpar opposition, but we've also seen them play the best free-flowing attacking football of any of the relegated sides. I would go as far to say they look way better than the likes of Udinese, better than Cagliari, better than Genoa, and even better than the likes of Sassuolo on their day as well. Be careful. The 4-3-3 is going to come to bite us. This might actually be the game where Inzaghi says, absorb some pressure. Yeah, it's a relegation side, but I don't think this Empoli side knows how to play a plan B. I actually I followed them in Serie B last season. They whipped that league like a camel's asshole, bro. They didn't need to change their tactics once in 42 match days or whatever stupid amount of games they play in Serie B, man. So I think they're coming at us. They're coming at us in this game. Mario, what are you saying?
Since they've last been in Serie A, I have enjoyed watching them play because when they attack, it's sometimes beautiful. That's the thing.
It's with intent.
It's with a purpose. They're very, very, very fluid, and when you watch them play, it's fun. Like they do a lot of good things. They play together. They're not, and they have brilliant moments where other teams look robotic, systematic. These guys, it's more free flowing and it's fun to watch. So they don't give a fuck. They're gonna go at it. They're gonna play every minute. Like the game's 0-0 and they have a point to prove, even if they're down 4-0. That's how.
Is it lack of pressure on Empoli that's allowing them to perform so well? They haven't got the pressure of the top teams to qualify for Champions League, win the Scudetto, but they know they're good enough to stay in the Serie A. So the manager's like, go out there, do what you got to do. Let's see how we can go. Their losses have come against Lazio, Roma, Atalanta, to name a few. And I think Venezia beat them, right? So you're looking at a team here who has lost to the top teams, but they've done the job they've needed to do against the bottom teams in order to stay up. But when you've got a lack of pressure, and I'll throw it to the Premier League for a second, you look at Newcastle, they were horrendous. They have new owners. They sacked their manager. These players came out against Crystal Palace on the weekend, and they just enjoyed themselves, and they looked like they were going to win. It ended up being 1-1, but the pressure was alleviated, and they played such a free-flowing game. I think this Empoli team, and this is why Pinamonti is shining, because he hasn't got a role. His role is to play. It's like when you go to the park on a Sunday. We're not here to win. We're here to enjoy ourselves. And essentially, this is the attitude that's working for them.
Yeah, Andrea Andreazzoli, after being sacked by Genoa, has the team playing in a certain way. So with Ismaili Stojanovic, Tonelli, Brand, I'm worried about Bandinelli, man. He loves free space. He loves space. Oh, Mario's got his hand up. I didn't see that. But
it's not even
Mario, if we push hard on this team and give Empoli space on the counter, which we have done this season, this team can hurt us to the magnitude of a better side. So we need to approach this game with more caution. And I know fans will look at us and say, why are you playing reserved against a relegation team? I'm like, bro, just look at the one mechanism that this team use. They don't have a plan B. They're going to set up with 3 attackers, and none of those 3 commit defensively.
Yeah, like their counterattacks might be worrisome because they're gonna just go at us with numbers. They have the 3 Pinamonti, Cutrone, Berami that they can all play, and they're all just gonna look to attack the goal. So that's where a player like Vecino, as bad as he might be in any other situation, this might be a good game for him because he might close down those spaces in the midfield just to be annoying and because that's what he's good at. He's good at just moving in the shadow where you don't notice the little things that he does defensively off the ball to open up Çalhanoğlu. Like that's why we signed him in the first place, because off the ball the guy is actually not horrible. Like that's why he's become such an important player in Serie A coming up. But and also because he was able to score goals randomly. But in this kind of game where we just need him to close down the space and kind of just work his ass off and open the space for Brozovic and Çalhanoğlu to just maneuver how they want in a more free way, it might work out. Because like I was saying before about Empoli, they haven't changed their style of play since the last time I've seen them play in Serie A. It's the same attacking football. So I think if we allow them that space to counter, it's gonna come back and it might be problematic because they are always a team that misses that last pass, that last shot. They'll get to the 18, but then it all falls apart, sort of thing. But it's gonna be a fun one to watch. So I'm excited for that one.
Unpopular opinion for some, but this might be the game that really defines Handanovic's position at the club, because when Empoli get to the point where they're behind, they start taking wild shots, they start taking wild opportunities, and they start pushing up front. And I just think this is a game where he can't become lazy. But at the same time, defensively, we're superior. Even with Frog and Sticks in the back line with Skriniar, you're looking at a team here which should easily contain Pinamonti and Cutrone, to say the least. But you're looking at someone who's a lot more. I would say this is a great, and like I said before, this is the great opportunity that Inter has looked for. 1, to build the momentum, and 2, to give these players a run that can, motivate them and get their movements moving a lot better. This connection, Vecino, 150%. Dumfries should definitely be in that lineup. I love the fact that Sanchez is up there and Dzeko's taking a break, because you need Sanchez to start playing. You need Sanchez to start scoring and start proving himself, because ultimately he has provided nothing for Inter. And when we come to these Champions League fixtures against Real and against Shakhtar, where we're looking for that goal, you want to turn to that bench and have confidence in Sanchez. He's been there before. He's done this before. You don't want to turn to that bench and look at Correa, who unfortunately isn't the same caliber as your Dzekos, your Sanchez's, and Vidal to an extent. And I just think this is the time. This is the game that kickstarts his season. We saw it happen at the back end of not last season, the season before, where he was scoring left, right, and center, assists here and everything. He slowly lost that last season, but I just think we need to utilize this guy. He is something special for this squad. He's got what we need. Him in the squad this week, hopefully he bags a brace. And it gives Inzaghi the confidence to play this guy.
A lot of people still say on his day with the ball at his feet, why are you questioning the best player on the Inter squad? Alexis Sanchez is the best overall footballer on this Inter squad, and I find it hard to argue with that. The only way you would argue with that is, have you seen Brozovic turn out an 11 out of 10 performance? But Christian Rivas shaking his head for the right reasons. Like, we know, we've said this over and over. If Brozovic is on, we ain't got no worries. If Brozovic ain't on, we got some problems, man. We got some problems.
The thing is this. And this was my thing when people said, why'd you bring Alexis in against Juve? Name a better player with the ball on his feet from Inter or Juve.
Christian, Lord Nostradamus, I said this, bro. We conceded the penalty in the 89th minute. I said it on Serie A Roundtable Football Worldwide last night. We were 5 minutes away from Inzaghi masterclass. You see everybody on Allegri's Cazzo when he gets the 1-0 wins. Inzaghi was 5 minutes away from everybody saying best substitutes of all time, Alexis Sanchez masterclass. Like, you're literally splitting hairs over a penalty decision here.
Yeah. It's literally one of those things like, why would you question somebody like Alexis? No offense. The only person that could say that they've won as much as Alexis has is probably Arturo. That's it.
With Alexis, bro, I loved seeing him come on. You see him actually spin Locatelli straight back to Sassuolo, bro. Like when he's got that ball in that corner, he did exactly what we needed him to do, man. It's a shame modern day football works in a way where you pay wages to the point where it acts as a discrepancy point in an argument. And I'm guilty of bringing that to the argument. But when you do play players, it's a valid reason. But hey, at the end of the day, and we've all said this before, it ain't our money. If Inter's not sinking, it ain't our money, man. We just want the best players on the pitch, right?
Yo, like Chris just said, bro, you can't play just once a month and expect him to be in form. This guy got to get a run in games. And everybody's sitting there saying that the whole picture with the Ferrari, what's he supposed to, like, compare himself to, bro? Like, straight up, Mario thinks he's a freaking Lamborghini and a Maserati out on the soccer field. Like, what are you supposed to compare yourself to? What am I supposed to say? I'm a Ford Pinto?
Yo, thanks to the 15 people still here. I was going to go over to some comments and then go over to the boys for a final word. Usually we do match previews really quick these days, but I've enjoyed these old school catch-ups with the gentlemen. We've been going for almost an hour. So let's go over to a few of the comments that I haven't gone through today, and shout out for everybody who joined us. Chris says, I don't think you guys covered this one as I accidentally went on camera. Dumfries is surprisingly fast and has serious acceleration, and he has more determination to sprint across the field to make a play than Hakimi. Dumfries has some qualities that Hakimi doesn't. Christian, you want to comment on that quickly?
Yo, he's not wrong. Dumfries is very fast. The thing is, he gets himself into the positions, which is good. The problem is when he gets the ball in that position, what does he do?
Yeah.
And this is the thing I was talking to my boy Will and Liam about this was Dumfries is experiencing the same thing that Hakimi experienced at the beginning of last year. Nobody really wanted to play with them. There's times you'll see them wide open on the right. Barella will look and he'll try to switch it across the field to Perisic because he's more comfortable doing that. He knows that if he gives it to Perisic is going to find somebody in the box. And you saw that with Hakimi at the beginning of last year where he was sitting there trying to create something out of nothing.
Could also mean that he knows that if he passes the ball at Dumfries, he might lift his foot too high and the ball goes out of bounds.
Either that or it's going to be a heavy touch. But again, he's still adapting, bro. You got to give him the time. That's why I keep saying – give him a couple run of games. Give him till December, January. If by December, January, we're still having this same conversation.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Everyone's got to realize that Inter isn't a academy where you buy a player for a season and expect them to make you your money and sell them the next season as well. We need to start investing in long term. We've seen it with Martinez. We've seen it with Bastoni, and we've seen it with Barella. But at the same time, our player turnover is they come, they have a great season, they go to somewhere else. They come, they have a terrible season, we ship them to somewhere else. So ultimately, you're looking at a squad and a bunch of fans, and I think we're all guilty of this, is we're expecting superstars to occur overnight. Now, I was critical of getting rid of Tonali, one of our products of our youth, but he turned out to be nothing in the end, injury prone like no tomorrow, would have had the bar so high. But ultimately, we got to understand we're bringing players from nowhere. And we're putting them into a league where they were the best they were in their league in Netherlands. But at the same time, you bring them to the Serie A, they don't compare. They're two different games.
Mm-hmm.
Predictions for Empoli before I close off with fan comments. Mario, you first. You look like you're dying to speak.
I guess he is beating like a 2-0 game for us. I guess, yeah.
I wish. It's going to be 2-1. It's going to be 2-1. We're going to score first. Yeah. They're going to score in the what I call the defeatist period of time. Yeah. The defeatist period of time starts at 61st minute, ends at the 79th minute. This is the period of death. If you need to chuck a shit, go and do it in between that period. If you don't want to watch an intergame, don't do it in that period. We concede more goals in that 20 minutes than any team I've ever seen in my life. 2-1 for me. We get the win, albeit with a little bit of side salad of cardiac arrest at the end of the game. Nostradamus, make us feel better.
I'm going to say 2-1 or 3-1. We've been so leaky at the back all season. Why is that going to change?
Yeah, I feel you, bro. Bruno?
4-0.
All right, settle down. I hope so.
No, I just think these players are going to go out there and run riot. Simple as that. Empoli is not used to this type of fixture congestion, and we're going to show them why Inter have done so well the last couple of seasons and how we've been able to maintain such a high level of the game.
Fair enough, bro.
Hey, I got one question.
Go for it.
How many of y'all are still on the Scudetto train besides me?
I'm here.
I'll admit that I'm not. I admit we've still got a chance. I'm not on the Scudetto hype the way that we were last season.
Yeah, but last year was different. That was the first time in years. This time we're defending champions.
Right. Look, I think everyone's hyping over Napoli, but they don't remember Spalletti at Inter, where he would win the first 7-8 games. Everyone's saying this is our year. Then we call it the December curse, where he'd just drop off the face of the planet for a couple of games, then do enough to make sure our last fixture of the season would qualify us for Champions League.
Don't forget, this January and February, Napoli and Milan are going to have a lot of players that are key starters go to Africa.
Aren't they going to cancel? Aren't they considering canceling that? No?
Nope. Are they? What for? They wouldn't cancel that. That doesn't make sense from a FIFA point of view.
No, they can't, because the rescheduled date was January the following year, and that is literally 2 weeks after the conclusion of the World Cup, and it's just not sustainable because you can't have that many. So, yeah, look, I think we're definitely in with a chance, but it all falls on the shoulders of Inzaghi. He needs to start thinking big picture. This isn't Lazio. The goal isn't to win a Champions League position. The goal is to win the title, and he's got to start thinking like that.
Yeah,
he needs to be a man. I'm sorry, I hate this. That sounds so terrible, but he needs to pick his balls up and be a man, bro.
You see it in his post-match interviews and stuff, and I'm the type of fan that watches the training on YouTube, and even my partner sitting on the couch, she's like, geez, they've really dropped off in intensity from last year. I'm like, you're telling me. You're bloody telling me. It's
my girl makes fun of me, and she's like, are you going to go cry like you did against the Europa final? She's like, you going to go to bed and cry again? I'm like, yo, go fuck yourself.
That's unbelievable.
Really, dude? Go fuck yourself.
Go back there.
Oh, man. Chris, who's been a good performer in this chat. Rodrigo De Paul for 40 mil gets you the quality. Bro, read into De Paul's personal life at the moment and tell me he's got the quality. That guy moved over to Spain and lost his family when he went over there, bro. Read into his personal life. Mauro Icardi ting. Argentina thing, bro. Oh, yeah, by the way, it's with the same woman as well. I agree, Sanchez. Yeah, Mario, read into it. Read into it, bro. Read into it. I agree. Sanchez has to have playtime. Yep, well said. We've got a few optimistic predictions here. And Chris would agree with most of the boys that I've had on today. I agree we should invest in elite young players, especially from Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. Their clubs will sell for prices Inter can easily afford. Yeah, but it's also risky, bro. A lot of people A lot of people like to buy players within the league with experience because it guarantees a certain amount of quality with no buffer period. Denzel has a buffer period. Hakimi had a buffer period. Darmian ain't had no buffer period, man. He came in and did what he needed to do as a homegrown Italian league player. The same way D'Ambrosio could come in and do a job better than that 40 million euro Brazilian right back that you just signed out of nowhere. That guy's going to take time. Italy's a hard league, man. Italy has built its reputation as the defensive league of the world for a reason, over a century and a half. You come here, you need to adapt tactically. Ronaldo said it. Lukaku said it. Every striker I've ever known who ever meant anything has said it. The hardest league to score in the world is Italy. Fair enough. Yep. I'm going to give the boys my best, and I'm going to let them go. Now, it's been a really, really good match preview for Empoli. I really, really hope we get the win. Bruno, any last words before we depart?
Forza Inter. Hopefully tomorrow morning we're discussing something a lot better than what we were against Juve.
100%. Mario Gagliano, any last words, my friend?
Fuck Dumfries.
You're going to regret it later on. Like, honestly, unless you're ready to start Dumfries FC when he gets 3 or 4 assists.
There is no Dumfries FC. He's not.
All right, Paris Saint Mario, let's go.
Yeah, 100. Christian, thanks for joining us, my brother. All the best. And as always, bro, that jersey in the background brings a smile on my face every single time. It's one hell of a kit. Well done, man.
Did you ever see this one?
Yeah, you showed me last time. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. I got to get more frames up on my wall. I got the Figo going and I got the Italian champions going. Pretty soon we'll just get it all framed up.
Yo, I'm trying to find what you were talking about with DePaul.
Hold on, let me find it.
Let's discuss this off stream because Anthony's going to do a plug and...
Yeah, good idea. All right, guys, I'm going to let the gentleman go. It was a brilliant day. It was a brilliant stream. Let me remove the gentleman. Mario's still here, of course. Guys, thank you for joining us for the Empoli game. Hopefully things go all good. A little bit of a preview of what's coming on Inter Worldwide. We'll do some match reaction to Empoli. We'll do some content for Udinese. And then it's all about the Champions League next week. But for today, I am hella pissed. I dropped another ranking in Serie A Fantasy, and I actually tried to pay attention to my team this weekend. I'm obviously not well enough as I knew that Zaccagni was out. But anyway, we're making one change to the lineup this week. We're taking out Theo Hernandez, and instead we get a free pass at basically any defender in the league, pretty much. And when I see that these players, do I have more than one Milan player? No, not at the moment. Perfect. Calabria goes straight in. Replacing Theo Hernandez, scored a goal on the weekend. He might just be able to get the job done. Confirm the transfers. We are good once again. Guys, if you have not already, you need to head over to Serie A Fantasy. Forget Fantacalcio. Sorry, I hope that doesn't get me in trouble. But at the moment, Serie A Fantasy is the go-to for all the English-speaking culture fans. We've got 45 members in the Inter Worldwide community playing for the bragging rights. There is your code up on the screen. Links are in the description as well. I have dropped from 2nd to 5th in 3 match days. Not impressed, but that is all good because Uncle Shama is dropping in rankings as well. It's literally a head-to-head between me and him. That's all I care about. Guys, I'm going to stop the stream right there. Make sure that you link up with Serie A Fantasy and make sure you're liking and subscribing to not only Inter Worldwide, but to Football Worldwide as well, where we are bringing you constant EPL, European weekly catch-ups, and my own personal Serie A roundtable majority of the time with an Aussie panel. Guys, from all of us at Inter Worldwide, Forza Inter, I guess I'll say it today, Forza Palermo. Let's just get 3 points with Empoli and be done with it, shall we? Ciao ragazzi.